5 and 5. Energy, come on. Start with the job. Start with the अपने साथ के साथ. Backward जाते हैं. आया. पूरा हुआ. एनर्जी यहीं से आएगी बॉडी में, ठीक है? आधा के माइंड है. अभी स्पीड बढ़ाएंगे. अभी सांस खुलेगा तो खुलेगा. जाओ सांस खुलेगा तो खुलेगा. खुलेगा तो खुलेगा. चार. Yes, good. I'm down. पूरा जाएगा पूरा. Yes, I'm down. Stay low. Quick. पूरा मैच में सफल करना है. Yes, चलो. Good. Very good. स्पीड बढ़ाओ. सांस फूल रहा है यहाँ पे. सांस ऊपर आना चाहिए. हार्ट बीट ऊपर आना चाहिए. हार्ट बीट ऊपर करेंगे. सांस नहीं फूलेगा तो कोई मतलब नहीं.
quarters of the reference. Okay, you're not locked in here.
Jalin. और बता. किधर ऑफ देना बता.
Got a nice
और
balance
नंबर.
pitch.
ना ना नहीं. ले ले बोल ले. ओए jalin. स्टे jalin.
Go on. Melvin, here, play. Come on, make a choice. Yeah, yeah. Boy, come on, heads now. Come on, take this. Boy.
Come on. Hey. Very good.
Okay, well done.
Center there. Done.
Threaten him out. You, reaction. Go on, like that. Balance your pitch again. Yeah, Rocco, behind you.
Center there.
Calm down.
Come on. Yes. एक प्लेयर निकलेगा.
Go down.
Come on, done.
Right.
Come on. Beautiful ready.
Invisible out. Man, you cleared this one. Good John. Good boy. Hit. Man.
ले आ जाओ.
Backhand up and out of possession. Not keep playing for too long, Harv. Good. Yes!
No, red team, now what?
You're visible now, Al. Nice choices. Good. Good job. There.
बात करो.
Boy, love that you. Love it.
Beautiful.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Bodymore Heath, the Aston Villa training ground for the 6 p.m. kickoff. It has been delayed, however, to 6:20, so that's why we're bringing you the stream just 15 minutes before 6:05. I am Ollie Ordis, your commentator, joined with Ollie Sasson. Ollie, how are you looking forward to this game?
I'm really excited. So I've had the pleasure of watching both teams now at least once in the tournament, and both really excite me. They play really different styles of football, but I think Punjab's style and tactics may just be the perfect counter to Everton.
Well, when I saw Punjab, they were the first team I saw when they played Aston Villa back on Wednesday or Thursday morning it was now, and they were really impressive. I would say out of all the Indian sides, they certainly impressed me the most. They have flair. Mohamed Sohail was the one that really alerted the viewer. As well as that, you of course had number 7, Amang Dodum, who was one of their goal scorers. So I would say overall I completely agree with you. They're an interesting side. They've got dynamism in them, but obviously they're coming up against arguably the best side in the tournament. I mean, Tottenham Hotspur have just won 4-0 against Mahout, and they look really impressive. But I was on Everton's game yesterday where they won 6-0. All goals came in the second half. Their set-piece play was brilliant, and of course they are going to be a really tough outfit for Punjab FC. Overall, we are going to be going over to Grant Iwopwe with the Punjab FC as head coach.
Pitchside at the Premier League Next Gen Cup 2024 with Punjab FC head coach Shankala. How are you on our third match day of the group?
Yeah, we are expecting stop Everton winning race, and we are finding one win or one draw. We are prepared now.
Now, yeah, just thinking about the previous results, what is it that you want your team to maybe improve on in order to try and get that draw or get that win today?
We conceded last match very silly mistakes. We discussed today morning video session. We'll try to improve our performance defensively. Even yesterday attacking, we missed so many chances. So we have to improve our attacking also.
Now, thinking about Everton, they've just beaten East Bengal 6-0 yesterday. What sort of threats are you looking out for in order to stop them getting into that sort of attacking groove?
Look, sometimes in football it's happened. Yesterday East Bengal one of the bad day. East Bengal also good team and Everton also good team. We are trying to stop Everton today tactically and technically.
Amazing. What have been your biggest takeaways from playing in the Premier League Next Gen Cup 2024? What have you taken away from playing some of the biggest teams in England and their best young players?
Yeah, the biggest team, the infrastructure we saw last 3-4 days we are here. We saw the tactically how they're strong, so many supporting stuff. They are thinking, decision making always advanced. So we learn from this.
Well, good luck today, your match against Everton. I'm going to throw it back to Ollie in the gantry, and good luck.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Grant. Of course, that was with the head coach of Punjab FC, Shankala. It's interesting what he said yesterday. Really clearly frustrated about the game where they lost 3-0 to Spurs. You were covering that, Ollie. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree, really, with the manager there. The mistakes were a bit sloppy, they were a bit complacent, and you can only expect it was really because of fatigue that those happened, considering how intense this tournament is. Of course, you're playing a game a day. That's a lot for these young players, especially. Their bodies are still growing.
Absolutely. I suppose it's a lot for them, but it's also a massive lesson. And that's what all the Next Generation Cup's about, to give people, to give players that exposure to intense matches. And of course, they will be especially intense tomorrow, where there is more pride to play for. Punjab FC tonight, though, will certainly be wanting to get some form of a point underway or on the tally. Mahout, of course, won the penalty shootout against Crystal Palace yesterday, which has now put them above East Bengal and Punjab FC. So right now they're the bottom two of the the whole League of 8, of course, is split into 2 groups, so the winner of the English sides will face the winner of the overseas sides, and that does look, well, it is going to be Stellenbosch. So either going to be Tottenham or Everton, which is why this game is actually going to be really interesting, Ollie. Of course, it decides who sets up the final against Stellenbosch at the Loughborough University Stadium.
Of course, not just that though, for the Indian side here, Punjab, it could also decide whether they are in the opportunity and in the playoff for 3rd place. So that would be massive for them to take home, especially considering they finished 1st in the qualifiers. Ole, you want to show, in England at least, why that is. And a win today would really, really cement that, I think, for them.
Absolutely, of course. I mean, behind us you've got Aston Villa versus East Bengal FC. East Bengal, the side that just lost 6-0 to Everton, so they're going to be beaming with confidence following that win. But of course, as the table currently stands, East Bengal bottom, so they would be facing the bottom side in the English group. And right now, that stands at Aston Villa. Now, if they do get all points available, that's Aston Villa, of course, against East Bengal, then it would mean Crystal Palace are the side that would be facing either East Bengal or Punjab FC, who are yet to play. So it's really interesting, knowing that 2 games right now mean so much for both sets of sides. Everton still just carrying on with their warm-up. It looks like Punjab FC are ready to go. They've got their kits out. Everton yet to get changed. They're just finishing their warm-up. Leighton Baines with his tactics board in front of him. He's the only manager I've actually seen out of all the games I've commentated on in the Next Generation Cup where he actually has a tactics board. He has a whiteboard, and funnily enough, it was something that was interesting. The difference in team talk at half-time yesterday. Of course, it was 0-0 between Everton and East Bengal, but Baines had his tactics board out. Compare that to the East Bengal manager, who was instead motivating his players. He was using words in the team time talk. Of course, Leighton Baines would have been, but the centre of that talk was all down to the tactics, and you can see him here down to our left, just giving a chat to the goalkeeper. It looks like it is going to be Douglas Lukian-Kicks in goal. But right now he is talking to a handful of them intricately about what their roles are. That's only going to surely make the players even more enthused when they see that in front of them, you think, Ollie?
Of course, and we're not just talking about Leighton Baines in front of these players. Such an idol, I'm sure, for many Evertonians. So it must be a privilege to work under him. But yeah, no, to see a man who's so knowledgeable in the game, and for the tactic balls just there to really present the image of what he's thinking about, what's in his head, I'm sure that will really help the players more than just the dialogue, so they can see their roles visually. And I'm sure it will transfer really onto the pitch. And when you've got a tactics board, you can explain things so much better, can't you? Your sequences of play, where you want to be, positional awareness. And I'm sure that's going to be taken on board by these Everton players today. And they're still learning a lot at only the age of 19 at most, many of which 17 and 16 still.
Absolutely, they do have a very young side. I mean, I was actually talking to the goalkeeper coach of Punjab FC before the game, and he was informing me that they're missing 4 key players going into this tournament, so you could tell he was disappointed by that. He also mentioned how there's a couple of under-16s in this side as well who play for India, so they're used to an intense setup. Of course, any international game of any level is always going to have some intensity. So it was interesting just hearing about the Punjab FC team dynamics. Right now they're in that circle down to our bottom right, listening to their head coach, Shan Kalar. He looks serious. It's like he knows that they can really bring some quality and get the points on the board to show their quality, because, like I said, they've certainly been the brightest side when it comes to attacking out of all the Indian sides. You, of course, covered the first Everton game where they just beat Matut 1-0, a stark contrast to their 6-0 win yesterday. What did you make of that 1-0 victory on the first game?
They looked a bit flat, Everton, and I thought Matut really looked quite dangerous on the counter-attack against Everton. So you just kind of wonder if Punjab can do the same to the under-19s of Everton FC, because think that's where the real opportunity lies to at least get 1, if not 3 points on the board for themselves.
Absolutely. They're going to be hungry. Punjab FC still on 0, East Bengal still on 0. So it's another interesting dynamic that I've really enjoyed about this competition is the fact that you've got both games going on simultaneously. Both right now, this is the last group game of the competition, so it really does mean a lot, and both results on either side will have a real bearing on how the final table lies before we go into the final day where you've got the 4 playoff games. So it's really interesting when you hear the celebrations behind you. It's hard not to have a peek, but of course there's also plenty of action going on in front of you. Stellenbosch, for example, they did have some noise earlier today, and I was lucky enough to witness the Tottenham brilliance where they won 4-0, and Everton will try to back up their brilliance from last night in their 6-0 victory against Punjab FC, who have just come off 2 losses, one 3-2 and one 3-0.
What they can take from that though, Ollie, is they've got 2 goals already in this tournament, and that's a lot more than their fellow Indian sides, their comrades, if you like, in this competition. So if they can try and bring that vigour in the attacking sense, I'm sure they'll definitely be able to hurt Everton on the counter-attack.
Totally. I think that, they've showed that they can score, which may sound rather belittling, but they can score. East Bengal and who haven't been able to score yet. Of course, East Bengal still have a game. But of course, both sides coming out now onto the pitch, being led by the referee and assistant referees. But
yeah, no, sorry to cut you off there.
No, that's all right, that's all right.
But yeah, no, just as well about that counter-attack for Punjab. They've got real pace up front, and that's a feature we've seen so far throughout their game. And you've been really waxing lyrically about some of those players.
I was really impressed by them. It was a big contrast of setups. Of course, when I saw them play against Aston Villa, you had the technicality of Villa, playing it around the box, being able to play it either through the middle or out wide. But then, of course, you had Punjab FC, who were able to just run forward, and they did look the most dangerous out of the 3 Indian sides. And now we're going to go through the sides. We'll start with Everton. So here is the squad list for the Toffees. Of course, George Pickford, not Jordan Pickford's brother. He doesn't start today, however. George Finney, who scored yesterday. Josh Van Score. Odin Samuel Smith. Aled Thomas. Harvey Foster had a brilliant game yesterday. 3 assists under his name in the first few minutes, it felt like, in that second 25. Jacob Beaumont, Callum Bates, George Morgan, Braden Graham, Joel Catesby, who had an excellent game out wide, so he's one to look out for. Douglas Lukacic, who is in goal, with Rocco Lambert, Freddie Friedman, Louis Gardner, Charlie Stewart, Melvin Matos, Keen Wren, Adamide Akariki, and Ray Roberts.
Yeah, we're hoping maybe for a quicker start today than we got with Everton yesterday. And Tottenham versus Punjab too. I think it's been a familiar theme as well. Slow starts in this competition, by especially these 2 sides. So goals in the first 5 minutes, we'd welcome.
Well, absolutely. We'll just run through Punjab's team as well. Of course, Ayush Deshwal, Mohammad Sahil, Manav Singh, Pramveer, Omang Dodam. Look out for him. He had a great game finding the back of the net against Aston Villa. Tongbrang Hassan Singh, Mangalanthang Kipgan, Mohammad Sahil. Then you've got Thang Gamba Singh, Ricky John Shabong, Karish Soram, Thangjang Albert, Zaithleen Singh, Yendam Brahm Bobby Singh, Harpreet Singh and Harmanpreet Singh. So the players are ready. Are you ready, Ollie?
I'm ready to go. I hope the players are too, Ollie.
Of course. Well, Everton are going to be kicking us off. What I've really liked about this is the introduction of so many talents that you get to see come on and really can make a name for themselves. You've seen so many players with the roll-on, roll-off substitute rule. You get to see a wide variety It's not like when they get subbed off, that's the end, or if they're brought on, they may just come on for that game only. You know that when you've got that freedom to make substitutions, that the managers will be more willing to make those substitutions, and that's why you get to see such a variety of players on this pitch. But it's certainly not false when you say that the English sides have dominated when they've come up against these Indian sides. They've just had the better tactics, more of a footballing intelligence to be able to pick out passes and have a variety of how they play. And that man there, Harvey Foster, the Governor General, who had an excellent game in the heart of that midfield yesterday. A real influential figure at centre mid. So here's Rocco Lambert, who came on as a substitute yesterday in the 6-0 win.
I don't think the Friedman will want to be inviting pressure in those sorts of areas. I mean, Dodum's going to be chasing down hopeless balls like he did for the Tottenham match every day of the week. So they've got to be clever and smart when they are deciding to pass around the back, try and avoid the press as much as possible.
Foster's looking up, and you can see that he was trying to find the run of Lambert. Not enough on that to find Everton's right winger at the moment, and Punjab intercept, but in doing so they give away a foul. It's Dodum.
Yeah, but that's the example right there of the pressing we're going to see from Punjab FC today, just through this time Yendrambam.
Here's Foster again. Look, gets the ball immediately, scanning the pitch to pick out the perfect pass as it finds itself down that left-hand side. But Punjab win it back, and here's Mohamed Sahel, who's just had his first touch of the ball in this game. One of the best players I've seen for Punjab. But Everton have got bodies forward, and they look dangerous as Rocco Lambert nutmegs the Punjab left back.
That's brilliant from Pram there, though, just using his body very intelligently there to block off the fullback. Lambert, who was making really good ground, he was quite cheeky there, tried the little nutmeg, but no, to no avail, and that's really down to really good defending, and that's going to be another thing we see quite a lot, is the structure and the covering that these players do for them team so often.
So far, Rocco Lambert has had the most touches of the ball for the Evertonians. You could see what their number 20, Yandon Brown, was trying to do, pick out a pass to someone in the middle of the park, but instead it fell back to a player in Everton colours. Here is Foster.
Well, with the ball being down this right-hand side of Everton so much, it also means it's down the left-hand side, which is exactly where Dodum will want the ball, their threats.
Absolutely, but they look like they could have an opportunity here. Sahel showing his first burst of pace as he gets past two players. Can he finish it off? Oh, Mohamed Sahel showing why he has many people praising him. Beating past two players, one of the most dynamic players I'd say I've seen out of the whole competition so far.
Just reckless and very rash defending. They're thinking maybe a bit too confidently they'll win the ball there, but Sahel just so graceful and agile when he has it at his feet. He just glides past the players. He doesn't want to collide with them. He doesn't want the free kick. He wants to get that ball into the box. Unfortunately, I think he just saw glory in his eyes rather than the cross that perhaps would have been the better option for the young Indian.
I suppose there were quite a few Evertonian shirts in their penalty area, but I would say Mohamed Sahel probably just got a bit excited. But in the meantime, Everton have their first chance. Oh, wow. And within minutes, within seconds after Sahel's opportunity, it's Everton who open the scoring, 1-0. And it's Joel Catesby with his second goal of the competition. What a player he's been. From one wide man of Punjab to another of Everton, it's Joel Catesby that opens the scoring.
Really tough to take for Punjab, as they're probably thinking, oh, we can do a bit more here than just defend. Unfortunately, they did forget to defend, and they switched off there, so easily cut open in the middle of the pitch, and they really have to look out for that a bit more. That was really, really good though from Beaumont, and so I think the run wasn't watched either by the Punjab FC players, but all credit to the finish as well, just underneath the goalkeeper, and it's always really difficult for a keeper to get down so low so quickly.
And of course, when we've seen these Indian sides, they really do like to play it down the flanks. But I've noticed with the English sides, they're very willing to play it down the middle, and that's exactly what happened just then. And it all stemmed from Harvey Foster lying deep, pinging a ball into the direction of Jacob Beaumont, who then just spotted the run, the central run from Joel Catesby. So Everton really good work there, very clinical. And Punjab are going to hope that Everton don't keep up this clinical edge that they've had in the last 30 minutes of football. Of course, they blew East Bengal away in that second period of the 25 yesterday.
Well, we asked for goals within the first 5 minutes.
And your wishes come true. Thanks to Joel Catesby. Can Punjab pull one back? Aston Villa, when they scored, it looked like they were going to maybe run away with it, because they had a very close second opportunity minutes after they opened the scoring.
Yeah, brave goalkeeping that as well. Just coming off his line at the right time, but they've got to be careful here, playing it around the back, because just as Punjab are happy to press, so will Everton when the invitation is given to them.
Look at that pressing from Sahel. Just leaned off in the end, which allowed Everton to pass it round and retain the ball. But here is Foster again.
Well, that's the difference perhaps between the two sides we're watching here, or at least that's been seen in the first 6 minutes of this match, is that the passing from Everton is much more precise, got the right weight of pass as well, and that just allows them to move the ball so much quicker up the field.
What a pull from Alan Thomas. Just as you say, they had the passing ability. A lovely pass from Thomas from the heart of the defence, and the first corner of the game, and it will go to Everton. They have an opportunity to double their lead in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, Charles Stewart won't mind that at all. Finally receiving the ball on that left-hand side. I remember watching in the first game. He was a very dynamic player, loved to make runs in behind, and that's where he wanted to be in possession, but his teammates just never really got their head up, never played the diagonal to him. But it seems like they're working the ball more so on the floor to him this time. And so he's going to have to try and beat his man, which is always difficult against this Punjab side when they do double up on the wingers so well.
They certainly do. This is a good chance here. It's straight into the grasp of Ayush. He punched it away, but not convincingly. It's still alive here for Everton. There's a bit of head tennis is going on, and then it's cleared up by Foster.
Yeah, Singh to the rescue there a little bit from Ayush. He probably could have caught that from what it looked like from our view, but he took the safer option of punching it, but he did require the help from his defence in the follow-up. Maybe something to learn from.
Absolutely, they're continuing to put on the pressure, but Punjab managed to break them down just there. Here's their number 10, Kipgun. Sahel. Singh. Punjab just enjoying the ball. Haven't seen them have much of a spell with the ball at their feet, but right now they're enjoying it. And that's another thing I noticed. A lot of the Indian sides, and Mahood and East Bengal especially, when they get the ball, they just want to lump it forward and try and play really direct. But Punjab are passing it round intricately. I can now see Mohamed Sahel has swapped wings. He's now come over to his left-hand side. Whether that will change the play, I'm not too sure, but Punjab will hope so, given the fact that they were put 1 goal down following Catesby's opener. And now can it be 2? It's Braden Graham, the youngster, trying to backheel it. He opened his next-gen account yesterday, scoring Everton's 5th.
Yeah, no, little mix-up at the back there between the two centre-halves of Punjab FC, but they recovered really, really well. Perhaps Graham wondering, could his teammates really get up the pitch a bit faster and help him out, because he seemed a bit isolated there in a chance really that he'd created from his own hard work and tenacity. But look, I think that shows Everton at least we can get in as well from our high press, so please, please push as a team.
It's another teasing ball, once again punched away. This time a bit more convincingly from Ayush, but it ended up being a pass, and Sahel opens up room here as he darts forward, plays it out to that right-hand side to Dodum. What a ball that could have been, as it does manage to find its way through the couple of Everton defenders. Now Punjab have really turned what was their defensive effort into an attacking one. Good passing, but it was just a heavy touch there from their 18, Torang Bram. And Everton will look to come away with it.
Give them confidence though, and they continue to press. Look, fatigue might not be an issue today as we may have suggested it had been, because they're really putting in a real shift here.
As per Mohamed Sahel, right in the midst of it. Lovely touchdown from Rocco Lambert. Quick ball in. Graham will chase. Stewart. Back to Graham. The referee blows his whistle, and it is an offside.
Yeah, he could have held his run a bit more there, Graham. He didn't really need to make it so early, but really good defending as well. Nice little passing just down that left-hand side as well between the two teammates, Stewart and Graham. But another note just on that counter-attack. So quick, so swift, and that's really where the pace of Punjab FC's front line come into play. And they've got 3 up front today, which just suggests they know how important today's game is. And the most important thing about any football match is scoring goals.
I completely agree with you. I don't think that's a controversial opinion, Ollie, but
I'd hope not.
I know. Well, some defensive managers may say the opposite. Your Jose Mourinho's and the like. So a throw back. So the dynamic front three of Punjab. Already you're seeing now Sahel pop up on the right-hand side. So it really does give those Evertonian fullbacks something to think about. 1 minute they've got one opponent, personnel, and the next minute it's another. And what a turn that is from Dodum, one of their better players as well. Just couldn't quite execute that pass to the direction of their number 20, Yendembram. But my word, they've got an opportunity. But the assistant referee has his flag raised on that far side.
Oh, that's just pure unlucky attacking play there. He couldn't do much more there, Yendembram. It was great tackle, great pressing from Sahil, Dodum and the likes. And they got into a really, really good position there. They hassled the centre-back, who just couldn't hold on to the ball any longer. He was put under a bit of pressure as well by his goalkeeper, who probably didn't help him out with the short passing. But that's something Everton are going to encounter if they decide to continue playing this kind of football where they pass out of the back line. But they have to also be aware the direct ball is on, as you see Lambert just out of the screen here, who comes into it. He's always willing to be on the last man. He wants to take advantage of that gap with this Indian side now, Punjab FC, playing a bit more narrow with that 4 at the back that they're not necessarily used to in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, when we saw Punjab set up against Villa, they occupied a back 5. Now it's a back 4.
Same again against Tottenham. So yeah, playing a little bit different today, and it's not going too badly. OK conceded the goal, but I think they've had a really strong start to the match.
Yeah, you can see they're occupying that 4-3-3 with 2 central midfielders and a holding 1-2. Beaumont linking up nicely with Catesby. Beaumont with the feet to try and trick it past 2, and he manages to fizz it across the face of goal. It will be a corner. The last touch came from Usham Thongamba Singh. But brilliant work down there by the byline, Ollie.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Superb strength along with the footwork. And that was really, really dangerous from Singh. I don't think he was aware of his surroundings there, and it could have gone very badly, but Beaumont would have deserved all the credit there. He showed why he's such a technically gifted winger, but it's so difficult to focus on your footwork as well as shield the ball from a player.
Foster with another delivery. So far hasn't had the success that he had yesterday with his set pieces, but it's still alive. This time it is thumped away. Plenty of height on that clearance. An awkward touch, which allows Sahel to run on, but brilliant defensive work there from Van Score, who briefly looked like he may have gifted the ball away, but he made up for his error. And in the meantime, there's been another error, this time on Punjab's end.
Sahil perhaps a bit fortunate, to escape the yellow card, or have I spoken too soon?
Well, time will tell. You have, I'm afraid, but it will be a yellow card.
And it's not exactly the ideal way to go into the 12th minute and enter halfway through this first half for Sahil at left back, because he's going to face a lot more trouble and traffic coming down his side of the pitch with Beaumont as well. But that was brilliant from Matos, really good tenacity to win the ball back, and he deserved the opportunity to be in the attacking third as well there, as he hustled the other Sahil on this Punjab FC side. But yeah, no, really strong runner with the ball, and you think he loses it there, and that's just what goads Sahil into the tackle. But they've got to stay on their feet here, Punjab, can't make any more mistakes like this.
Well, it's an opportunity to make it two. Foster lurks outside the box, but it goes in, and it goes through a bundle of bodies, unable to be kept under the grasp by Aled Thomas. Sahil with trickery. They're getting more bodies forward as they manage to break it through Foster, and what a lovely sprayed pass that is out to this left-hand side as Yendenbram puts it across the box. Strike deflected. Good challenge by Melvin Matos. Then it's thumped away. Here's Catesby. Beaumont, ooh, with the turn and the challenge. Beaumont frustrated that he believed he should have had a foul. The coaching staff for Everton feel he should have had a foul as well.
And potentially a second yellow card for Singh there. He needs to stay on his feet here. He can't afford to get a red card so early on in the game, especially when it will open up space for Beaumont on that right-hand side, because we know how dangerous he is. He's shown it once already, and perhaps that's why Singh's being so aggressive. He doesn't want to be embarrassed again.
Oh, and this is lovely work from Catesby as he tried to just roll it into that near corner. Looked like he may have been able to pull that off, but when you look at it the second time...
Well, he's out-muscled Singh there. He's done really well, the youngster. And he's just gone for the near post, and it's too tight an angle. I think you credit Ayush there for maybe just tightening it the last second, perhaps even.
Here's the Mo Sahel.
Yeah, goalkeepers don't always have to get something on the ball to have an effect on the attacker. And I think Ayush demonstrated that perfectly there.
Quick feet from Sahel on that far right-hand side as he keeps it in. Finds space for Kipken, who is in plenty of room in a tight area. And it's still alive. Ooh, he's just pulled at it. Scuffed that shot, Ollie.
But he's won a corner. And that's really important to get his side up the field. They may struggle from set pieces here. Defensively, they've relied on Ayush a lot, who's a really, really tall man. But when it comes to attacking them, I think Everton definitely have the advantage here, because Punjab FC aren't the biggest of sides, of course also young themselves.
And it's going to be an in-swinger from Kipken. Good ball, just unable to find a blue shirt in the right position. Yendenbram plays it out to this left-hand side, but that's easy work for the Evertonian goalkeeper. And he just sees it goes beyond for an Everton goal kick.
Yeah, better though from Punjab. They're working the ball around the box, getting some shots off. And who knows, maybe a goal to come from it, but this is a lot better than how they played against Tottenham yesterday. They weren't in these areas near at all. So clearly the change in formation has worked. They needed more support up front, and that's what they've received, because you can't pass to yourself. At the end of the day in this game, it is a match of 11 players, and that's also something Singh has to remember as he continues playing in this match.
Finding room here, Punjab in their final third. He'll go for glory, and you don't blame him. Donham almost pulled it off. Fairly straightforward save for Douglas. You can six.
But that's what happens when you have more men up the pitch rather than along a back line, which you would have with the five, because they've managed to pick the pocket of Everton deep, who like to be passing in these areas you're seeing now. And that's exactly where they want to exploit the space as well, by intercepting, by nicking the ball. And Dodum's the perfect avenue to release it to. So yeah, really, really good from Punjab again. Nice strike, but always easy for the goalkeeper too, who seemed really comfortable. And I'm sure he'll like to get his first save out of the way now. But Dodum is likewise with his shooting.
Well, you can see that they've got the confidence in their ability to strike. Sahel and Dodum especially. Graham, in the meantime, will have a go at Singh. And that almost went through the legs of Ayush.
Crisis averted there. I think the heart rate may have fluttered, but he's redeemed himself. No error too big, but really strong there from Foster, but also from Graham to hold the ball up. And they're showing it to be a physical battle up at the top. And it's something perhaps Punjab need to look at and think, well, can we play slightly differently if we are being out-muscled?
Well, here's Kipken as he tries to spot the switch, but instead it will be calmly dealt with by Rocco Lambert, who used the top of his foot, it looked like, to bring it back to his keeper. So here's Friedman, now Foster. Beaumont playing it nicely here, Everton, as Graham gets a slice of luck as the ball sticks with him. Ball's put into a good area, but no one's there to attack it.
Yeah, Foster's quite annoyed with his teammates there. We were saying how they need to press as a team. They also need to attack as a team. I understand they have the one goal, but you're not going to get that type of goal all the time. Crosses are a really important part of anyone's attack. And they're not getting enough numbers in the box, really. Graham's doing so much work off the ball to win it back and then to really bust a gut to get into the box, but it needs to be joined by other players. I think the cross was read wrong as well by the forward, because he really just hit it into the centre of the box, hoping for a late runner rather than a run to the near post.
Absolutely. And it's a throw for Punjab. They're unable to keep it in possession. It's a poor clearance, and it's made the most of by Melvin Matos. Can Braden Graham try and have some involvement in finishing off this move? Matos just lurking. It's such a lovely touch from Catesby as he just nudges it into the run of Beaumont, but he was in offside position, so that is cut short.
Yeah, that's devastating, and that's the magic that Beaumont possesses, isn't it? It's closed down by 3 men, but it doesn't faze him at all. Backs off, backs off, backs off. They're chasing, but he manages to find enough space to lob it over them. And he continues the run as well. It's just a shame he was offside and went too early, but really, really clever from the player and quick thinking to try and play those tiki-taka.
It's just about timing the pass, timing the run as well, something they'll learn more as their careers develop.
Of course, and that's also what the tactics board is for.
Absolutely, provided by your Mr. Leighton Baines. Pulled back by Lambert, but unable to find a player in Everton colours, and Beaumont just sticking out a leg there, maybe in a bit of frustration considering he didn't get the foul around 5 to 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, Dodum looks in a little distress here. Medical team's been brought in just to check on him. I'm sure he'll be okay, it's just a collision. But that's what can happen so quickly, and that is Dodum on the break, and he's so quick with his feet. Knew exactly what Beaumont was going to do, and it was brave of him because he knew the challenge was coming, and unfortunately he has come off badly, but they need to take encouragement from that. Everton are gonna make mistakes with the ball when they're passing it around. Like so, with that one-touch passing, it can't be perfect, and Punjab need to capitalise on those errors that Everton are making wherever it is on the pitch, and Dodum's speed, and also Sahil, who was making the overlap. I'm sure that was on Dodum's mind as well when he cut back. Maybe that was the next step in the attack. But they need to execute these things better. Beaumont perhaps saw the danger as well, and perhaps clever defensively from the attacker. Fouls are part of the game, unfortunately, and they need to be used correctly.
Of course, Everton are in the driving seat at the moment. They did score a very early goal, but since then it's been fairly fairly equal. Everton have dominated the ball, but has to be said, Punjab have looked very threatening when they've gone forward, albeit a few times. They tried to cheekily start it again. Of course, we just had a drinks break there. It is a free kick following that Beaumont challenge. It looks like all players will be able to continue. No one's injured, which is good to see. It was Omang Dodum who went down. So one of their more exciting players who hit the deck following that collision with Beaumont. So I'm sure his coaching staff and teammates would have been nervous when they saw him go down, because of course they will still have a big game tomorrow, and it could even be battle for third place. So Everton play it out to that left-hand side. Braden Graham running onto that, up against Singh. Back to Stewart.
They're working a good partnership here, Foster and Graham together on that left-hand side.
Absolutely, that's a poor pass from Foster. Probably just didn't need to play it first time. Of course, you can see what they're trying to do, play slick football, and play it through the lines quickly. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to just take a touch and to assess exactly where the players are, so you don't give it away. And now Punjab have the ball, following it as they try to work a move down this left-hand side. Once again, Beaumont stuck in it. That's 3 times now he's had a collision with a player. Of course, the first one wasn't his fault, but the last 2 arguably were.
Yeah, I think he's getting frustrated with some decisions not going his way when he's on the offence. And so he's putting himself about, as you say, being a bit overly aggressive, and he might have to watch himself because the referee's not going to take any antics.
Of course. He did go into the book. Nope. Mohamed Sahil did go into the book following his challenge, and talking about challenges, that's not the best one. An Everton player surely will now go into the book.
Yeah, we'll see what card that is, because that's a really, really bad challenge for Matos. I hate to say it. There's no need to go in from behind like that, and I think Turang Bang is really making the point to his opposite number. It's only a yellow card, and perhaps he can feel a bit fortunate, because that can be very, very painful, but also dangerous. Thankfully, the player's okay on the receiving end of that challenge, and it's in a good position for the free kick, but that's not entirely what mattered there. We want to keep a lid on things here. Challenges such as that do not need to be flying in from behind.
Well, I just saw moments ago Leighton Baines chatting to Melvin Matos, giving him some instructions. I'm sure that wasn't in one of them, as it does wipe out Dodum from behind. So rightly so, a free kick. Maybe that's also an element of frustration from Melvin Matos at the fact that he did go in late. Well, it's hard to argue with the referee's decision there, isn't it, Ollie?
Totally. And I think you'd speak about frustration. Perhaps they are getting frustrated with themselves, maybe. As you say, they're trying to play this one-touch passing football, but it's not always working. And they're a bit worried and scared of Dodum, it seems, with him taking quite a bruising.
Well, I'm not surprised. He's a very technical player, so quick. He won't have his part to play in this free kick, or he might do, depending on what happens after it's struck. But I can tell you it's Yendenbrand, as well as Kipken, up for this. Never testing the keeper, of course. He did stretch out his arm just to make sure. Did dip just beyond the goal mouth, but never troubling the number one, and that'll be disappointing.
Yeah, no, always going over too much on it, and even if it were to be on target, there wasn't enough power in the effort. Free kicks are a very difficult skill to master, and of course, in training you can score as many as you want, but yeah, this time it wasn't so successful, but you don't blame him for taking the shot on. It was in a good position.
Maybe just trying to force it a little bit there, Everton, as it did fall to Lambert on this near side, who tried a first-time pass forward, and it just went straight back to Punjab. I think that's happened a few times now, Ollie, in the last 5 minutes, where they've tried to play it slick, play it forward, play it quick, but if anything, it's just give the ball away.
Totally. Totally.
So here's Mohamed Sahil, lively as ever, wriggling through Everton bodies, just like that one up against Braden Graham. One of the better players I've seen in this tournament, one of the most exciting. His side haven't won yet. He's certainly been a bright spark in this Punjab FC team. That could be a lovely switch as he tries to find Sohail. He does, but I think that was an ambitious touch there, wasn't it, Ollie?
Even for a player like himself with such speed, I would have to be inclined to agree with you, Ollie. So I just find it funny we've got the same name here. It's like talking to myself in a mirror.
Talking to yourself, doing commentary.
But yeah, no, Sohail, he knows he's got the beating of his man when he gets into a foot race, but it wasn't the space this time. He has to be a bit more cute with his thinking, keep the ball at his feet maybe in these one-on-one situations sometimes, but a really good spot also by Punjab to find him out on that right flank.
Well, there's Bowman popping up in the centre of the park. Rocker Lamberts feel like he's now coming back onto this right-hand side. Haven't seen him feature down this side for some time. 2 minutes left of this first half, and Everton look to try and get a second goal, albeit they've looked fairly lacklustre in the last 10 minutes. Can they make something happen through Van Score as he puts it in? They get a corner from that. That's all that matters there, doesn't it, Ollie? Second best thing you can get after scoring a goal.
No, very true, and they have looked dangerous from these corners as well, but this was a decent chance as well, just put into the box, and this time it is put to the front post, but no one is making that run. It was hit a bit short though from the wide player of Everton, but as you say, you're not complaining with a corner. It's just really another chance to put the ball in the box, perhaps take two, and this time they can put it in with the in-swinger.
Obviously they had a brilliant game yesterday, Everton, but at this point it was 0-0, and then look at the final score, so they're already doing better than what they were this time yesterday.
Good defending that, really good defending that. He had to be strong in there, was being hassled by a couple of Everton players in doing so, so yeah, to get his head on that, get it away from danger as well. Really, really astute, calm defending, because that could have gone anywhere off the back of his head. He did well to guide it past the post. The last thing you want is to go 2-0 down just before half-time, especially because they're playing so well.
They are. I've been really impressed with Punjab, and it's good to see that they've kept up this real flair that they showed so much of in the first game. So it does just show they've got a real talented squad here. And obviously, they haven't really managed to create as many opportunities, I feel, as Everton have been able to. The first 15 minutes, Everton were getting the ball in promising areas, but weren't really showing any penetration. But of course, they'll be happy going into this 1-0 up. A lot can happen in these second halves. We've seen that that's become a trend in the last few days, where the game will be 0-0 or a very low scoring at least when it hits half-time, and then bam, within 10 or 15 minutes of the second half, it could easily be a completely different looking scoreline from what it was when the first half whistle was blown. So, here's Lambert.
Well, interesting, you're talking about slowing down sometimes, Ollie, for this Everton side, and the one time they do, it's really halted their attack, and okay, they got the throw-in from it and can build again here.
Another ball put in, but unable to find anyone. It's kind of like they've been hitting and hoping it into the box and hoping they'll just magically have a player there. Of course, that's what every wide player would hope. They just haven't had that attacking nous. Of course, brilliant first 4 minutes. Lovely, well-taken goal by Joel Catesby, but it looks like that is going to be what separates these two going into the half-time break, unless Punjab could conjure up something here. There's Melvin Matos, who came under a bit of controversy in that first half after he got the yellow card following his challenge on Amang Dodum.
Yeah, but you can see Everton feel a lot more comfortable when the ball is being passed at a pace. When the ball does slow down, their instinct is, well, let's speed this up again, and that must be what they're trained to do, and that's what's being told to them by Leighton Baines and the rest of his coaching staff. So perhaps they don't mind affording possession and the consequential chances to Punjab, as that is where they feel most confident to score their goals, and it's all about outscoring your opponents.
Absolutely, a great lesson I'm getting here on commentary with Ollie Sanos. but like you said, comfortable. They do look very comfortable on the ball compared to Punjab, and of course they've got the transition. They're very good on the transition that we've seen. We saw that against Aston Villa. We've seen bits of that today. But you're right, when they have the ball in this kind of position, in this kind of situation, they do look like they're more calm, and that can just keep the confidence in the team going throughout the game. And talking of the game, that's the end of the first half.
Yeah, Pranvir can be happy with that last bit of gameplay. He read the danger really well, and last time that sort of pass was played through was the 4th or 5th minute, and that obviously gave Everton the 1-0 leads that they still stand with. So good to see they've learnt their lessons, because Everton haven't been able to play that more penetrative pass down the middle between the two centre halves. Obviously they were used to playing with 3 before this game, so perhaps there was a little bit of miscommunication to begin with in the match, and that has cost them, but they've grown into it a lot more.
Well, Punjab will still be happy with their performance. They'll feel like they can get something from it, but let's have a look at this goal. Down the middle, cutting open the Punjab centre like a hot knife through butter. The keeper unlucky to not fully keep it out, but it was still a good strike nonetheless from Joel Catesby, who's playing more of a central role. Braden Graham looks to have played more on the wing compared to what he did yesterday.
No, certainly, and Catesby will be happy with that. He's slow in his celebration. I think he knows he probably could have done better, but it doesn't matter how they go in as long as they do go in, and Ayush may feel a little bit disappointed in himself not to get out that little bit quicker, not reading the danger perhaps that Pranvir invited when he did break position. And that's what I'm talking about there. With that 3 at the back, you have that extra bit of cover, and that's what's so important here now in that back 4 that he's learnt from. You can't just come out, you can't just meet your man. If you do, the whole team has to join you, and you really have to win that ball. And unfortunately, he was too weak against Beaumont, who is such a strong and nimble player. Sometimes you really do have to question, do we leave him, do we stand off, and do we focus then on the next step of that attack, the next phase that he's going to play it into?
Well, you said Ayush may have been disappointed, but I'm sure his coaching staff were disappointed with that. To concede that goal, it was quite simple and sloppy from Punjab. Of course, let's not take away the brilliance that was from Everton, the ability to play through the middle, but the chance was there. And when you're cut open like that, down the middle, you really start to question where the spine of the team is. And of course, they've got brilliant players in the attack, but what are your central midfielders doing? Why is there so much room just in front of the defence? So Ayush did as much as he could have, but when you've got a brilliant player like Joel Catesby in front of you, given room to manoeuvre in, you can't really expect to try and keep out those efforts when they are basically one-on-one. It's a 50-50, and unfortunately he just fell short of that one, Ollie.
No, Foster as well though deserves his credit in this move, as much as it can be considered a mistake. You see how comfortable these players do feel on the ball, and if they're not being pressed like they weren't in the opening 5-6 minutes up until really that goal, they're able to find those passes so calmly and easily, and it's all about composure and football, and Foster showed it there really in abundance to find Beaumont, who has drifted inside as well, which has probably made it more difficult for Singh too.
Well, obviously that's our verdict on the first half, Ollie. In terms of the Next Generation Cup as a whole, how have you found the whole tournament? Of course, it's the last day tomorrow, the final at Loughborough. Kick-off, I believe, is 3:30 p.m. or around that time. How have you found the overall experience?
Well, I've loved being in the gantry with yourself, with Ben, with Tyler as well. I've had an array of commentators by my side, and that's been a real thrill for myself. But on a tournament note, I've really enjoyed watching it. Well, that's still a personal note. I think it's been great for the players, is how I should rephrase that. I think they've all been phenomenal in their own individual ways, and we've seen some really good team bonding moments here. And it's been a great experience for both sides, the English and the international, to get a chance to play against different football styles and perhaps bring it into their games when they go back to their home countries when this does conclude tomorrow, as you say.
Well, I completely ditto all of that. I think it's been an excellent experience, really well set up here at Bodymore Heath at the Aston Villa training ground. Of course, every year it does change location. Last year it was all the way out in Mumbai. Year before that it was split into two, so the format does change. It's quite malleable, so who knows how many teams could be here next year. Of course, 2 years ago in 2022 they had two pools of groups, and each group would play either at London or the Midlands. Of course, for the Midlands it was Stellenbosch that won it, so they came over to England and won it.
Well, Stellenbosch have another chance.
And Stellenbosch have another chance to win the Next Generation Cup in the Midlands, this time at the Loughborough University Stadium. West Ham, of course, were 8-0 winners against Tottenham in their final down in London, and that was at the Tottenham training ground, so that was a big, big result, of course. Not the only big result we've heard about in the Next Generational Cup. Plenty. Everton, of course, we keep going on about. They'll be looking to try and have a second half similar to what they had yesterday.
Well, Punjab haven't been making it easy for
Not
them
at all.
And I wonder now for the coach, who we spoke to earlier as well, who Grant had a lovely conversation with too, that everyone else was granted to see and listen to. Will he be making substitutions frequently in the second half, using the roll on roll off? Will he make changes from the beginning of the second half? Because his team looked a bit tired towards the end, and they really do rely on that high press to create most of their chances. And if not the high press, it's the counter attack, and both require a lot of energy and fresh legs. And Dodum, the poor man, can't necessarily do it all on his own when it is coming down this left-hand side. So Hill's doing his job as well as Yen Drembam.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how this second half unfolds. Obviously, Punjab, I feel, deserves something on the board. They, of course, do have a penalty shootout to look forward to, should they not get the win. But I feel they definitely deserve to travel back to India and have something to their name. I think they've been exceptional. So, obviously, they didn't have the most positive game against Spurs yesterday, but Spurs have been a brilliant outfit. They've really grown into this competition, albeit it's only been 3 games. Obviously, they had a slow start against Stellenbosch, but this is the funny thing with the confidence of football. If it's to be the other way around for Tottenham, and they were to have faced, obviously, their opposition today, Mahout, and, of course, Punjab yesterday, would they then, if they faced Stellenbosch at the end rather than the beginning, would they have then won that game? Because, of course, you've had that confidence to build on. You've had those good results, whereas they went straight into, obviously, what was a very difficult fixture and came out as the losers. So it's just an interesting dynamic, but they've certainly showed their quality in the last 24 to 48 hours.
Well, how about the referee as well? We want to give them a fair mention here, because they've had to deal as well with the same timings as the players, and they're doing a lot of running around on those pitches.
Yeah.
But also their performances, they've got to stay level-headed, and it's very difficult to think clearly when you are in the conditions that we've been in so often, with the sun shining down on us. And we saw it affect a couple players earlier on today, a bit of lightheadedness. But the referees, they've been really, really good, especially today. He's tried keeping a lid on things when they may have just blown over under someone else's authority and jurisdiction. So we speak about how important and how big a chance it is for the players to really get noticed on a big stage and develop and grow their careers. But also for the officials, these guys are young for their industry.
Well, I think that's a very chivalrous and thoughtful comment, Ollie. And of course, the 4th officials have to stop the timer every time the ball goes out of play. You've got to be alert on that. So all across the board, it's been a really, really vibrant competition. We've had plenty of cultures here, plenty of professions all come together to put on a good show, provided by the Premier League and, of course, Aston Villa, broadcasted by your instant replay. So Everton and Punjab FC back on the pitch. There have been a couple of changes.
Yeah, no, totally, Ollie. You're completely right there, and it really captures the point of the Premier League Next Generation Cup.
By the sounds of it, the commentators behind us are giving some love to the referees, so clearly that narrative is going around. It's good to see. Refereeing sometimes doesn't always get the most positive feedback, so it's good that you give the credit where it's due. 25 more minutes of the third game week. Of course, behind us we've currently got Aston Villa versus East Bengal. Unsure what the score is there. I know Aston Villa did score, but haven't heard it. It's 2-0 Aston Villa.
Well, Everton obviously are now thinking ahead, only 25 minutes in between them and the final, so they need to keep concentration on this game.
They do. Everton are fine form in these group stage games. They can end it being the only side to have won every single point, and that's fairly commendable when you realise the sides that have also been featured, or have also featured in this tournament. Aston Villa, but Tottenham Hotspur really impressive today, and of course Stellenbosch. But Everton still have work to do. They're up against arguably one of the better sides in this competition this season. Well, not arguably, they are up against one of the better sides in this competition.
Yeah, no, Punjab again. They need to start this second half really quickly. They can't start it slowly and allow Everton to pass the ball as they will.
Well, here's Foster playing it out to that right-hand side to Beaumont. It'd be an understatement to say he didn't get involved in some of the tackling and aggression in that first 25.
But that was more prudent defending there. They didn't have to dive in. They make Beaumont make the error himself instead of allowing him to skip past. So perhaps that's something the coach was also telling the players about at half-time, because he's really been the danger man in this match. And of course he got the assist by finding space, and Pranvir just trying to close him down when he didn't necessarily need to. Sit off, that's also an effective way of defending.
Well, of course, Rocco Lambert has come on, as has the goal scorer Joel Catesby. On has come Ray Roberts, and the other player being the number 2, George Finney, who of course scored a penalty yesterday. Can Punjab score? Oh wow! What a start to the second half. Punjab out of nowhere, and that is the brilliance they possess. They can do that to their opponents. They have that aura where they can just score something out of nothing. It's their number 10, Kipken, just as I was informing you about George Finney's penalty yesterday. All of a sudden, Punjab hits Everton and score early on, and it's been another thing we've seen in the last few games, when suddenly the start of the second half is underway. All of a sudden a goal can just come out of nowhere, and that's just happened to the English sides and now the Indian side in Punjab FC.
Well, I don't think Luke Ankix was expecting that from Kipken at all when it fell to him at the edge of the box. Most players put their foot through him, but not Kipken. His football IQ there was on there for all to see. And that was a sublime lob, because it's not just about the thought, it's about the execution. And this has really inspired Punjab now to go on and get the second goal.
Wow, what a turnaround this could be, led by Sahel. Poor finish.
Yeah, he took that too hastily there. Ball was just lagging behind him, I think, as he left it behind him. But slightly intimidated by the chasing defender, and you can see he's, again, a bit distressed by that, because he thought that was a golden chance to follow in the footsteps of his captain, Kipken, who was phenomenal in his attempt. And that is a really, really important goal for him, and a really, really important goal also for Everton, as it claws them back a point.
Well, Everton with some thinking to do after the first half, which had spells of fragility in their back line. They've now conceded, and it's one apiece. So they've really got to try and conjure up something again, but there's no doubt that they have the quality.
And it came from the high press. Sorry to speak over you there, Ollie.
Don't worry, Ollie.
Yeah, no, it came from the high press, because Everton do like to play that ball around the back.
The majority of the second half so far, in 3 minutes, it feels like we've been looking to our right for the first time. We're looking to our left. There's Van Score passing it back to Aled Thomas, who's got an eye for a pass from that back line. And here's Freddie Friedman. Talking of centre-halves with an eye for a pass, that was a nice ball out to their number 17, Stewart. He was unable to keep it for Everton. Friedman's pass just slightly behind George Finney.
Everton may need to rethink here slightly, play to some other strengths other than their precision passing. They are the stronger team here. We've seen that so far whenever they go man for man, so maybe they want to exploit that a little bit more and just play a little bit more direct. Graham has had a lot of success bullying really his counterparts, so maybe they want to feed the ball into him a little bit more.
Sale going down there, the referee without hesitation blowing his whistle.
Ray Roberts also a bigger figure than the man he came on for, Catsby. So again, that partnership could offer them a different avenue of attack, a different style of football, but they haven't managed to really start that yet.
One ball played forward, trying to find the centre of the Punjab attack. Of course, Everton need to win this to finish top. Tottenham, of course, leading the way. Of course, the bonus point being up for grabs can change matters, even if they were to lose. But they don't want to just rely on the penalty shootout to finish top. They'd want to get the job done before the 50th minute.
Of course, but although early days still in this second half of the match, Everton still want to play with some urgency because this does suit Punjab as well. It allows them to save some energy because they don't look like they want to be making any subs with some of their key players on the pitch right now who will get them those goals when they need to.
Aidan Graham with that diagonal run, a lovely turn to take it past 1 and 2. Not 3 though. It's dealt with by Manav Singh. Here's Matos, Foster, Thomas, Graham. Passing it well round here now, Everton. The best we've seen in this second half. Spoke too soon, poor ball into the box. Van Score. Good battle between Van Score and Usham Thangamba Singh. Van Score still comes away with it though as he nudges it forward to Graham. Nice idea from Graham, but unable to execute it. Of course, what would be a very interesting dynamic is if this was to finish a draw. Of course, that would then put Everton on 9 points, level with Spurs.
Would they win though, potentially, because of goals scored?
Well, goal scored does actually play into it, so you are right there, Ollie. They're on currently 7, Spurs are on 6, so a draw would theoretically see them top it by 1 goal. And of course, if it was just down to points, then that penalty shootout would give them the chance to finish top of the pile and book their spot in the Loughborough University Stadium tomorrow for the final. Free kick in the meantime, and it's a clever one. I saw this yesterday when they'd have a free kick. They'd rather pass it around the area or play the short pass rather than have a go at goal.
Or we should be singing his name because he's been really, really good at following his man, especially in this second half so far.
Deep ball, pushed away by Ayush, but has it opened up room? It has, but it was unable to be on target.
That had venom behind it from Foster, whose eyes lit up when the ball fell to him. But Ayush again parrying it from these crosses, and although he's not been peppered or burdened by them when they're from in play, set pieces are really, really testing him, and Everton eventually could capitalise on these spills and potential thrills.
Brilliant work down that left-hand side from Yandenbram. George Finney managed to take the ball away from him, but he still came away with the ball following that challenge from Everton's new right back.
And Matos just conceding another free kick in a dangerous position, and we talked about the threat posed from set pieces. This is again a really, really good opportunity for Punjab to now take the lead And who knows, maybe they could catch the keeper out once again, because he certainly wasn't expecting that delicious lob from Kipkin.
Well, that's definitely what they're going to try and do. Will they be able to execute it a second time? Well, that's down to Amang Doden. It's a decent ball, but it doesn't find a blue shirt. Instead, it's headed away. And now cleared away. Safety first. He's chased by Braden Graham. Slight little elbow that he left on their number 12, Singh. Matos fighting for the ball. Here's Singh again as he tries to take it away from Graham.
Well, you want to keep it as far away from Graham as possible right now, because he's like a groundhog with a greyhound, sorry, not a groundhog. A greyhound is the correct dog. With the way he's chasing this ball left, right and centre. It must be quite intimidating for the Punjab players to see that bearing down on them.
An attempted switch, but Finney intercepts it before it's able to find its intended target of Dodum.
I think Matos will like to be on the ball a little bit more with it at his feet, rather than him having to lunge to receive it. And I think he just needs to stay calm in the second half.
Graham, he's had a lot of the ball in this second half. Stewart tries to wrap his left foot around it. It's a poor ball and it's a goal kick.
If they are to make it to the final, Everton, they will need to work on their crossing.
Well, you've actually watched every Stellenbosch game, so that is going to be the opponent of the side that finishes top. What do you make of them?
They are giants at the back. They've got two men, Sistri, Pillay, or three even, Sistri, Pillay and Tylon. So crossing like this will not affect them one bit.
So just holding the back of his right ankle.
Yeah, a bit of bewilderment almost there from the Everton man, but at the end of the day, he's not a defender, is he? He's up on the other side of the pitch for a reason, but you've got to be doing your defensive work at the top end of the pitch too. That's how we've seen Punjab get their goal. Clearly is an effective means of scoring, and the Indian sides have shown that actually across the course of this tournament so far, and especially Stellenbosch, who Everton then need to watch out for if they're going to play such dangerous football.
Foster in some room hasn't really been given the time to act as that Governor-General role this half, but what a lovely move this is. Started by Foster, Graham with the lovely flick, and Roberts brought down. Some calls for a penalty for those in favour of Everton. So Hale, good work there as he manages to open up room. That's Matos winning the ball back, not for a first time, but a second time. Graham from distance, oh, just past that near post. He was striking it, aiming for that bottom corner.
Yeah, Ayush gets down a lot quicker this time, and it's a bit further out of his body, so I think he feels more comfortable there, but it's really two strong hands to get that away from goal and around the post. But that's what happens if you give Foster too much time on the ball. He finds the correct pass, and it's so cute from Graham, who's been so lively in this match, this time turning provider rather than trying to take it on himself.
Props to Melvin Matos as well to win the ball. That header doesn't do any damage to Punjab.
No, much more comfortable, and that's a quick reaction.
Just a poor touch from Sahel, unable to keep that under his grasp, allowing Stewart to have a go with the ball on the right-hand side. He's got so many bodies around him, and the tall frame, to be fair, is at least a couple of inches taller than the majority of the players for Punjab. So he just managed to deal with that pressure incredibly well. And that's a long ball, and that's safe hands from Ayush.
He needs to do that more. He needs to claim it and catch it when the ball is floated into his 18-yard box, because otherwise he's just creating danger for Punjab, and they can't afford to concede a sloppy goal like that. But no, he came to his team's rescue there just moments earlier, and Roberts probably a little disappointed he couldn't find the back of the net. But that's, again, them playing their quick football that they feel much more confident in scoring with, rather than kicking it around around and round and taking it slow. The fast tempo really suits them when they do find the pockets of space that have been left quite rarely since the 5th minute when they scored their goal, Everton.
Yeah, now suddenly the ball is in an advanced position through Dodum. As he cuts and changes his direction, it's cleared away.
Look at that. Look at that for tenacity as well from Dodum. He must be absolutely exhausted, but there's still no sign of movement on that bench of Punjab. They maybe feel like this is their best 11 to get them the victory they need.
Well, I remember in the game against Aston Villa, they were very frequent and willing to make constant substitutions. I think they even made their first one in the 10th minute. Maybe that was just the manager's way of trying to suss out the players and what players he wants to use for the rest of this competition. And clearly, if that's the case, he wants to use these ones out there on the pitch. But of course, they do have quite a small bench. He did mention to me that they no longer have 4 players that were able to come to this game. I mean, beforehand, you look at the squad sheets in front of us, Ollie, and there's 4 more players for Everton. So I guess they're just short with their options on the bench to our right.
Well, this is where we need a tactical masterclass from the Punjab managers, and they're doing really well so far in this match. They've matched Everton and they've really nullified them for a large part, as well as capitalised on their weaknesses and vulnerabilities. But it's about picking when to make these substitutions.
Of course, Everton much stronger on the ball, like you said. They look way more comfortable. Now let's have a look at Punjab and see how they fare. But they do get bodies forward and they are in good positions, but it's just that final ball that can let them down more often than not. Sahel was there in an advanced position, but the ball just wasn't good enough. Look at this room though for Matos. Everton allowed room to manoeuvre into, plenty of green space, and you said they need a tactical masterclass. Well, you are starting to see the number 18, Tarangbram, kind of sit deep like he's a third centre-back option. Obviously now he's advanced to just occupy Braden Graham.
Well, that's exactly his role. Close down the man that's dropping into the number 10 position, and that is Graham for this Everton side, because that's where he'll find the space to hurt you, and Beaumont is the one who wants to receive it straight after.
So here's Aled Thomas, Van Score on this left-hand side. Looks like there's going to be a fresh batch of substitutions made by Leighton Baines. 3 players coming on for Everton, so as they start to get fresher legs, Ollie, and Punjab are having to use the same players that started the match 40+ minutes ago, you would start to think, could this now be Everton's moment to really pick up the pace, to start to pick apart Punjab in the dying moments of this game?
Of course, and this is also perhaps why these guys are turning pro, because of their stamina and fitness.
Well, that was 4 pass. So coming on, number 8, Callum Bates, and number 4, Odin Samuel Smith. And they're going to be joined by number 19, Keen Wren, who's already scored a brace over 2 games, of course, in this competition. He was the one that scored in their 1-0 win against Muthoot. So 3 points thanks to him. And he'll be coming on to try and get another 3 points for Everton.
Graham's still going, and his work rate for this Everton side cannot be talked about enough, and I really hope it doesn't go under the radar after the match when they do review it as a team.
Quick feet from Yendenbram, but unable to have that final touch. So Hale, this looks like it could be an opportunity. Oh my word! And look at the scenes on the bench for Punjab FC to our right. Usham Thangamba Singh, take your hat off, take a bow, wow.
And just like that, Everton may not be making it to the final. What a comeback this is from Punjab FC. Sahil doing so well to win the ball back, and that's the high press we're talking about. That's the danger we're talking about when it comes to Everton's football when they play it around the back. However, Singh is there to pick up the pieces after Sahil does so well. Sahil turning attacker almost, or turning defender, and his defender turning attacker, and that is a real striker's finish. Arrowed into the bottom left-hand corner, receiving a little bit of help from the inside of the post, but he's not complaining at all. They need to be quicker there, Everton, in pressing and closing down their man, and they've done that now twice, and they've been punished twice, feeling too confident, perhaps, in themselves, in their goalkeeper, and unfortunately he's been beaten by two tremendous finishes so far in this match, and Punjab FC really deserved that goal so far by the way they've been playing.
My word. I did actually think when he was going to line it up, you knew that he was feeling it, even though he had a few Everton players in front of him, as well as the goalkeeper to beat from that angle and range. There was a feeling that he was going to make something happen. His body language looked promising. He obviously had Sahil to his right, so maybe players thought he was going to pass it back. They maybe stood off a bit, allowing him that room to pull off that effort. And what a magnificent effort. One of the best moments of the Next Generation Cup.
Everyone almost stood still, didn't they? When it fell to Singh, they thought, he's going to have a shot. And then you hold your breath and you think, no, 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 it couldn't. And it did just creep in. And I think everyone was astonished and stunned by it, really, including Singh himself. I'm not sure he scores too many like that from right back.
Well, they're doing it proud, Punjab FC, and all their teams have. But Punjab FC have certainly been the best of the bunch. And it was great to see their managers and staff and substitutes all just celebrate. You could hear the noise. And in all honesty, every time an English side has scored, you don't hear that same level. It's not a criticism, it's just an observation that clearly these games mean so much. And of course they'll mean a lot to these players as well. But it's hard to deny that it will mean more to the sides coming over from India. I mean, you heard Stellenbosch earlier. They erupted when the keeper saved a penalty. When I was commentating on the other game, it felt like they had scored. So it was some great moments provided by these sides from overseas. And also, the English sides have certainly made themselves proud in some of the football we've seen, the technical prowess, the speed, the power, the physicality.
Well, look who feels confident now playing it around with their one-touch, two-touch passing. It's Punjab. The momentum has completely swung. And they're saying, well, we can beat you at our game. Let's see if we can beat you at yours.
Well, I think they're shocked. Everton, I don't think Everton will be shocked. The underdog is currently winning here. I mean, after their 6-0 demolition of East Bengal yesterday, you'd think that they'd be able to keep up that form, but I guess it's a very hard competition, and the fact that it's intense, that you play every day for 4 days in a row. You'd never get that in any other competition. But look at Sahil, can he seal the deal? You'd really think a third goal for Punjab would do that. 4 minutes to go, and of course no added on time. When the ball goes out of play after the 50th minute, the game is done, and we'll move on to the penalty shootout.
Yeah, a bit of frustration against Singh there, perhaps, for giving Punjab the lead against Everton. So, yeah, Matos again conceding the free kick. So he needs to be so careful here on a yellow card, because they still have a chance to make it to the final with penalties on the way after this, and they just need that 1 point.
Well, Aston Villa behind us have scored a penalty. Talking of penalties, they're now 4-0 to the good against East Bengal.
I also want to make an apology to Matos. It was Foster who made the foul there. I do apologise.
Well, Matos has had glimpses of looking very strong in that central midfield role. Doesn't stop running. So 3 minutes left. 3 goals. When Everton scored in that 4th minute, you would have thought they may have just been too good for Punjab. Oh, that's a hefty collision. It's more of a landing, to be honest, between Samuel Smith and Sahil.
Yeah, Dodan maybe getting a little bit of payback for all the knocks he took, especially in that first half. I'm sure it sticks on the minds of players. And now where he feels a little bit more confident, a little bit more comfortable as well, as the game's gone on and they edge closer to these 3 points. Maybe he feels like he can give it a little bit back with the pressure slightly off.
Well, of course, a draw for Everton would realistically be as good as a win, because as the table is, they of course have a better goal difference than Spurs, so a draw would mean that they would sit top of the tree and face Stellenbosch tomorrow. So it's still important for Everton to try and keep their heads in this and not think it's ran away just because they're 2-1 down and they can't really win. The draw still does enough to feel like a win. But Punjab, they're just enjoying the ball.
Well, this is the mistake Everton have made twice, and that's how the Indian side Punjab have scored. It's by passing it too much. You want the ball, of course, but you want to do something with the ball. There's no point in having it for no reason. And that's exactly what Sohail's mindset is. Every time he's on the ball, he thinks forward, forward, forward. And that's the exact way to win matches when you're in the lead, especially.
The ball is exactly where Punjab want it in the opposition half. They have to be careful, though. Look at this Everton press. But you've got to commend Punjab. The fact that they haven't made a single substitution and they're playing like they've got fresh legs all over the pitch.
100%. And Tarangbang, they're popping up all over, as he has done for the most part of this match. He's been a real tank, a real engine. And he's probably the person you'd expect to be subbed off almost first with the amount of running he's done. But he continues to do it, and he's running the show as well.
It's really giving something for Everton to think about, the fact that they need a draw, they need a goal, but they're just allowing Punjab to just play the ball so freely in their own half. I mean, look at this from Sohail as he's taking it to the byline, calls for a penalty. There's 30 seconds for Everton to try and get the ball up the pitch. They're not going to get that through that header. Roberts trying to have his part to play as he physically goes in on arguably the match winner.
Well, very late substitutions here by Everton, and perhaps they think they can make a late impact, but yeah, probably the smart idea to take off Matos, especially after that cheeky little nutmeg on him by Sohail, who's been a real threat, and I'm sure very annoying for these defenders of Everton, as he's just so tricky and fast, and a defender hates that when they're being run at 24/7, and in 15 minutes it must feel a lot more common when the ball is out their end so often.
A corner flag football, and you can't blame them. It's a goal kick. My word.
Don't think about penalties. Do not think about penalties. That must be going through the manager's mind right now. Just stay focused on the task at hand, because it's so easy for your mind to wander, thinking this is all over. But they're very clear that these players are still so focused.
Well, Joel, third time lucky, Joel Catesby has come on. He's the guy that obviously got Everton up and running this evening. Can he be the man to finish it off for Everton and try and get that equaliser and make it 2 apiece? Well, here he is doing his defensive duties, popping up. I mean, he's certainly got a spring in his step. He came on for Charlie Stewart, who came off looking frustrated, and you can understand why, given this second half performance. So just over 2 minutes left. Everton really trying to move the ball around now. We've barely seen them, it feels like, with the ball in the opposition half. They barely really created anything in this second 25, nor have they had the opportunity to really pass it around. Punjab's pressure have been very good, but can they give them a sucker blow? It's a good challenge. Look at the togetherness from this Punjab side.
He'll sing again as well, though, with that tackle. He's doing his work at both ends of the pitch, just like every single one of these Punjab players. They've been everywhere, and interesting to see they stuck with this pack four despite trying to hold on to a lead.
We can. So here we go, Everton with just over 1 minute to salvage something. Obviously, as mentioned, the draw is just as good as a win, given the state of the table.
Yeah, no, 100%, but they are on the attack here, of course, and you'd want it to be with Beaumont, wouldn't you, if you were to be on the attack in these positions, and that's exactly why
They're getting it.
Yeah, I reckon they're going to feed it into him once again down this right-hand side as soon as possible, because he's that danger man, especially now that Graham's off the pitch. Oh, what a save. He's come to the rescue again, Ayush. That is a really, really top-class save, and that's the 3rd time today he's done that for his team.
My word. When you ask your goalkeeper to step up and be counted, that's what he's doing right there. Terrific work from Ayush.
But these Everton players are not giving up at all.
Wow. And that surely is that. Punjab FC look to have turned this game on its head in this second 25 after such a good start by Everton. Thanks to Joel Catesby. That work's been undone by, firstly, a magical goal on that far side, and then a brilliant strike from their number 12, Usham Thangamba Singh.
Yeah, just stay composed here, no complacency, especially from Sahil, who's been so good today. You just need to make sure this ball does not go near your box. And these clearances are strong.
Everton just haven't been able to deal with this Punjab side in the second half, and I think it's remarkable that Punjab haven't even made a substitute yet. Everton have made plenty. You can see the frustrations, and it's understandable. I mean, the ball still hasn't gone out of play. Over 50 minutes, the stopwatch I've heard has just gone. Just down below us in front of the 4th official. So it's genuinely any moment now the final whistle will be blown. Everton sucker punched by that strike from Singh.
They're choosing the wrong time here to take it slow, considering how scarce time is. I mean, this is where you expect the one-touch passing.
And Sahel knew what he was doing. What a performance from Punjab. Disappointing second half for Everton, but you cannot take anything away from a stellar performance from the side from Punjabi. Excellent from them. So, Ollie, what a game that was to commentate on.
Well, I think
If Everton win the penalty, they still go through.
perhaps the first thing to note is Everton still have a chance of going through to the final. So that's really important.
Well, that is actually very true. So a draw would have sealed it. So in actual fact, it's right. If Everton got no points, so therefore they're on 8. Tottenham are currently on 9. So that means this penalty shootout is huge. I was actually saying mistakenly that if they got a draw, it would therefore. Well, yeah, actually no.
No, you were right.
I'm being
Ollie.
silly. I'm being silly.
Don't
Ignore me.
second guess yourself.
No, I'm being silly. All of these extra points. Well, bottom line is, if Everton win this penalty shootout, they will be top of the tree. They will face Stellenbosch tomorrow, meaning that this 2-1 defeat will feel insignificant. Of course, it won't be to the coaching staff. They'll be frustrated with how it went wrong. They can't afford to do that if they are to get into the final and play a really, really strong side in Stellenbosch. But to be honest, it's good to see Punjab finally get a win that they deserve. Regardless of their opposition, I'm happy for them.
Certainly, I couldn't agree with you more. And I just wonder, though, will this win mess with their heads going into the penalty shootout? Will they feel a little bit less pressure? And I don't know if that'll be a good thing or a bad thing. Could it mean they don't care as much? I can't imagine that the case. Or could it mean they're feeling more confident and at ease now, getting those 3 points? 4 points might seem a little bit easier for them. I know what Tottenham will be hoping for, though. They will be hoping that it does not end in Everton's favour.
So now we're going to go over the goals, and this feels like a long time ago, doesn't it, Ollie?
Well, yeah, 5th minute.
Well, what a goal it was, though. Obviously, we spoke about it at half-time, but just the way they played down the middle, you really thought Punjab FC were going to have a really difficult afternoon, but it ended up being the complete opposite. But let's just acknowledge, lovely ball from Foster. He's someone, regardless of the result, has been really impressive in what I've seen of him. And then just that finish from Catesby, of course, he came on at the end to try and save something.
Yes, so close from Ayush as well to nearly hit it round the post. But this is really special from Kipkin. It is so cute and so sweet as well. It's a sumptuous finish, really, to put it frank. Kipkin must be over the moon with himself. Such a young man with such wise with such a wise head on his shoulders.
Well, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. It's completely summarised what Punjab FC have been like when I've seen them. They've been that dynamic side with flair that can just create something out of nothing. And this goal proves that statement. So true.
You just thought it was going wide. You thought maybe he dragged it, but it was perfect. And I'm sure Singh was as surprised as many other players on that pitch. But no, hats off to the man. These are two superb goals from the Indian side, and perhaps with finishing like that you're thinking, well, penalty should be a piece of cake. These are two brilliant long range goals. We haven't seen many in this tournament, but they're really setting the standard of them. Unfortunately, it may just have come too late for Punjab to really make a bid for the final, but they've done themselves proud in the last game at least.
Well, this is some penalty shootout. Arguably, this is going to be the most the best penalty shootout we've seen, with the most riding on it. Of course, they're here. The penalty shootouts are at the end of the game to give the players practice, I assume, from getting used to the idea of the pressure. But this is actually with something to play for, not just a bonus point here. And what a penalty that was from George Finney. Came on just after the break. He scored a penalty yesterday to make it 5-0 against East Bengal. And now you've got the pressure put on the shoulders of Ricky John Shabong.
Yeah, you can't save that. Ayush, she's made two really good saves in that second half, but you're never getting to a top corner finish like that. Finney was very safe when he knew he'd taken that penalty. So that's a really good start for Everton.
Well, it has to be said, the sides from England have probably had the cleaner of the penalties with how they've been struck, but now it's their go, and Punjab make it level. Sending the keeper the wrong way, it's the skipper Shabong, who leads by example.
Good strike. Really good strike there again. This time from the Punjab forward penalty taker. And he just sends the keeper the wrong way, maybe giving him the eyes in doing so. But yeah, no, just the start they'd be hoping for as well. Take 4 points from a possible 4 in this match. A great way to close their experience here in the Next Gen Cup.
So it's Beaumont, had a lively first half, getting involved in challenges. He strikes it well into that side netting, good penalty.
Yeah, really confident, as he should be, after such a good performance. Despite the loss, he was the danger man. He looked really in the mood today, and he was very selfless in his performance, which I'm sure his teammates would have appreciated, but at least he managed to get a goal there, nestling in the right corner.
Well, Pramveer, central run up. Will that put him in good stead? It does. A clean strike penalty with his left foot.
Very calm indeed. He took the stutter there, he took the chance of maybe the referee calling him out on it, but the goalkeeper goes before he's even taken the penalty, and I'm sure that's rather annoyed number 12, Luke Yankics, but nevertheless, it counts all the same, and it was a good finish in the end too.
Well, it's going to be Keen Rent. Oh, celebration from Punjab again as Everton miss the penalty through Keen Rent, who's had such a bright tournament. He's bagged a couple of goals, but he is unable to make the most of that penalty.
Perhaps the most important moment of his tournament was this penalty, and he may have just buckled under the pressure. Punjab really need to capitalise this now, as this is when it's so beautiful to be second takers in a penalty shootout, when you know you can punish the team for missing theirs first. But you know, what an incredible save by Ayush, another one to the list.
Well, one of the star players for Punjab FC misses it! And Ren will be so delighted. Mohamed Sohail, who's had such a good tournament, albeit he hasn't found the back of the net, he's certainly been so good in attack.
That's a kick to the teeth there.
And
It
that's
really is. So here, as you say, been so brilliant throughout the tournament, and especially today's game, and such an integral part is why they managed to pick up 3 points. He just couldn't find the back of the net, and he may have telegraphed it a bit too much, because that's really, really good goalkeeping as well from Everton's man between the sticks.
So Joel Catesby, the man that got us underway in the 5th minute, with a penalty, and it's a good penalty, 3-2.
Yeah, he did it with power, and each time Everton have played the ball into the back of the net, it has been from a really, really strong shot. So same again here, and he's just sent the goalkeeper as well the wrong way, giving him the eyes. He always looked confident though, and you can tell with his celebration, he felt like a very strong, powerful man.
Absolutely. Well, we've just seen Everton's goal scorer take one. Now we're going to see the first goal scorer of Punjab, Kipgan. Another central run-up. Makes me fairly uncomfortable. Well, he's going to strike it with his left, and he's going to slot it right down the middle. Now that was comfortable viewing.
That's always safe. Always a safe place to go, isn't it? The goalkeeper doesn't want to look silly when he stands still in the middle of the goal and it flies past him in either corner. So yeah, no, that was a sensible penalty to keep this one going for Punjab FC, because they would love this 4 points, and Tottenham would love them to get this 4 points as well.
Well, the next penalty after this is crucial, regardless of the outcome, following Callum Bates' penalty as he steps up. Oh no! Fires it over the crossbar, and Punjab now have a golden opportunity to win their first penalty shootout, to get 4 points out of 4, and for Everton to trickle down the table. Tottenham have one hand in that final against Stellenbosch.
Hit the target. Hit the target. That's all you have to do in these penalty shootouts, and the odds are in your favour as a striker. But he was just leaning back too much. There was no direction on it. Sadly for Bates, it was a really, really poor penalty, and the last person you want to see stepping up is Dodem.
Here we go! Wow! Punjab get the first 4 points of their campaign. What a game that was. A brilliant first half and second half. Most importantly, the second half for Punjab FC. It started off badly, but they got back into it. They had such belief, didn't they, Ollie?
Yeah, but what a penalty. This is to round off the game as well. All right, a game of 2 parts, we shall say. But once again, Punjab got the last laugh in this encounter with this English side. But no, what a match that was. And Everton completely taken by surprise today, and you can see it on their faces. They're being very chivalrous, very sportsmanlike by congratulating their opponents who have made the trip from India. But you can see how upset they are, distraught. It was within a fingertip, but the final's just been taken away from them by such a phenomenal performance, as you say, mainly in the second half. But their work rate in the first half should not be overlooked as well. It wasn't the goals that solely won them the game. It was the ability to adjust to the 4-3-3 formation that they only just adopted in this match. And Everton were taken by surprise. They had no idea it was coming, and they couldn't break it down really from the 5th minute. And that's got a lot to do with the midfield.
Well, you just look at the Everton players down there to my left. Some with shirts over their mouths, up to their noses. They don't know what to say, and you feel sorry for those young lads. But you know what? Although this competition can bring around so much positivity and mature you in that way, at the same time you've got to have this disappointment to be able to spur you on and to give you that hunger and to know what it's like to feel this disappointment. I'm sure Leighton Baines will be saying to them, hold on to this feeling, okay? Use it to motivate you throughout the season.
Perfectly put, Ollie. I think you've said it wonderfully. There it is, losses that are also important when you're so young, and it may not feel that way now, but to develop your careers, to develop your character, and to develop your ability and mental strength, which is so important to football, you need to lose a game, and it has to be an upset too, and these Everton players have now experienced that.
Well, they have indeed. Jubilation for Punjab. Newton's third law. With every reaction or every action, there's a reaction. And now we're going to go over to Grant with one of the players of the match, Kipken.
All right, guys, it's Grant Abokwe pitchside post-match after Punjab FC's historic 2-1 victory over Everton in the Premier League Next Gen Cup 2024. I'm with Kipken. After scoring the first equalising goal against Everton, how are you feeling after your win against Everton?
First of all, I thank God. It's always thankful. Like we try to play our best. We try to play our game, and we try to we try to defend well. We try to attack well. So we try to do what coach says, and we did our best. We have to say, yeah.
It was an amazing effort from you. Talk to me a little bit about your goal. It was an amazing chip from outside of the box. How did it feel? Talk to me a little bit about how you scored the goal.
Even me, I can't imagine that it went in, but by luckily, even I cannot say like I'm so happy. I'm so happy that words cannot describe. That's how I'm happy.
What does it mean to you and Punjab FC to have beaten some of the best young players in England in Everton FC?
Yeah, we feel very happy. Of course, it's a record. We have to say. Of course, we are trying to do like we'll try to make it better. Like it's like experience. Experience. We try to make it better and better. Like we have to make it better next year or upcoming days. We have to like improve more games a little bit more. Yeah.
And finally, just talk to me a little bit about the penalty shootout as well, to win the penalty shootout as well. Talk to me about the confidence that your players hit the penalties with and how good it was to win the penalty shootout.
Yeah, of course we have confidence because we win. Of course we win the game, so we have more confidence. So to score, the winning mind, the spirit we have. We try to give it. Like we try to take all the points. You have to say, yeah.
And finally, I just want you to help me out with something. I need you to help me pick a player of the match from your game. Who do you think needs some recognition from your game? Who was your player of the match?
I don't know.
I need you to. There must be one player that you think he really helped us today. You know what? Fair enough. If there's no, it's a team effort.
Yeah. It's I have to say, Usam he helped like I did a draw goal, but I scored a draw goal, but it's Usam he scored a goal with like each winning goal. Yeah.
Match winner gets player of the match. I don't think we can say any more than that. Kipken, very well done on your victory. Very well done. I hope you guys enjoy it and celebrate it because it's a massive victory for Punjab FC. Very well done, man. I'm going to send it back to the gantry with Ollie.
Top work. Cheers, Grant. Obviously, that was him with Kipken. Notice how he obviously appreciates the whole team. Didn't want to single out just one individual. If you were to single out one individual, however, who would you go for, Ollie?
I'm going to have to side with Kipken here. But no, if there was a standout performer that probably tips the game as soon as he came into the equation, it would have to be the midfielder Turangbang. He really united